What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, and welcome to Tuesday Night Life Study. We call it Life Study at the Rehab Christian Center. Most churches call it Bible Study. We call it Life Study, but welcome tonight. It is so good to see you virtually, live and in person, and it's good to be here with you for part 3 of the gray area. This has been a powerful series that we've been teaching in the last couple of weeks, and I'm excited to continue with this series on tonight. And just grateful that you've tuned in. Listen, I'm not wasting a lot of time. Y'all know how I get down on Tuesdays. We'll give about 35, 40 minutes tonight of solid teaching. But I want to dive right into this series. We've got this part 3 tonight. We've got part 4 next Tuesday, and we are done with the gray area. And we're going to be moving on. But it is good to see you. I'm starting to see people already coming in and saying good evening. And so it is good to see all of you that have tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, let's get the number moving quick, because again, I want to get through all of these points tonight and try to do this in 35 to 40 minutes roughly, so that we won't hold up most of your time. But it is good to be here with you virtually. And thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go through our networks. If you have not already, make sure you say good evening in the chat area. Speak. It is rude to come to church without speaking, virtual or face-to-face. So make sure that you speak, but then also go ahead and start sharing this video with everybody that you know. Share it with at least 5 people on your friends list, and let's get this party started right. Good evening, Facebook. It's good to see you virtually. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are tuned in via Facebook, make sure you say good evening in the chat area. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you really like the broadcast, hold it down, turn it to a love button. And then I want you to slide over 2 buttons and hit the share button. And I want you to tag 5 people and tell them to tune in. Share this to your page, share it on your wall, let all of your followers see it. This is a very powerful message that we're going to teach tonight. Again, part 3 of the gray area, and it has been powerful, and I cannot wait to share it with you tonight. And so I need you to share this with 5 people really quickly. Tell them to hop on the line. The Rehab Christian Center is on the air, and it's good to see you, and certainly praying that you've been having a great week so far. Instagram, good evening to you. It's good to see you virtually. Good to be back with you live tonight. If you're on Instagram, fill it up with hearts. Let me know you are there. And then Instagram is my slow late church. But I want you all to go ahead and say good evening if you have not already. But then also hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people, tell them to tune in tonight. And let's get right into this very powerful message. This is going to be powerful. And just grateful for those of you that have tuned in via Instagram and that continue to do so week after week. And certainly bear with us as we make adjustments through technology. Because Instagram just doesn't always agree. So it's so good to see you again virtually, Instagram, and thank you so much for tuning in. YouTube, good evening to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. To those of you that are watching via YouTube, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Do me a favor, make sure you like this video. If you have not, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every single last person tuned in, watching live or the replay, go right over to YouTube in the search bar and type the Rehab CC. No spaces, the Rehab CC, and you'll see our page. Like our page, or subscribe to our page rather. Like this video, share this video with somebody that you know, and you can go back and view all of our archives of our messages, and certainly good information to listen to as you work out, walk, work during the day, whatever it is that you do. And so thank you so much for tuning in via YouTube, and we are grateful to have you with us, and certainly praying that you are having a phenomenal week on that network. All right, I've got 40 seconds. I've got 40 seconds. I'm on a tight time crunch tonight. 40 seconds. If you have not shared this video, I need you to share it now. If you have not tagged somebody, I need you to hit that @ symbol and go down your friends list and tag somebody and tell them to tune in really quickly, because we're getting ready to get into part 3 of the gray area. And I hope this message in this series has really been a blessing to you as much as it's been a blessing to me. And I want you to know tonight, I've got a very powerful but very simple word for you, but a very powerful word for you. And I'm excited to share it. So again, like this video, share this video if you haven't already, tag somebody, tell them to tune in, do all of that good stuff. We are about to deal with the gray area part number 3. And I'm grateful to have your presence here on tonight. Let's get into it. If you have been tuned in the last couple of weeks, you know we have been talking a lot about things such as ambiguity and talking a lot about operating in places of uncertainty. And we're really going to deal with some more uncertainty next week as we close the series. But let me just say this about the gray area. One of the things that really came to me concerning this series that I think is really important tonight that will be relevant to your life concerning the gray area is this place that we call the middle. All right. And I want to just put this out there as an initial point that I want you to catch really quickly as an initial point. Never be afraid to live your life in the middle. All right. Never. This is point number one. Never be afraid to live your life in the middle. Pastor, what are you talking about the middle? Because you would think that, you just talked to us about uncertainty and living in uncertainty and how difficult that is. And it's dark in uncertain places and it's uncertain in uncertain places. Right. I get all of that. But I want to say to you that you should not fear living your life in the middle. Why? Because in the middle actually represents a hedge of protection for your life. And I'm going to give you the easiest example, biblical example that I can share with you that will help to make all of this make sense. And that is, if you go back and read in the Old Testament, the story of the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. They're crossing the Red Sea. They get to the Red Sea and there is a sea in front of them. There are Egyptians behind them and they are trapped in the middle between a sea and an army. All right. And this is really good to me. There are really two middle experiences that they experienced. This is going to be some heavy revelation. I want y'all to catch this really quickly. We're going to be done. There are two types of middle experiences that the children of Israel experienced. Keep in mind, they are ran out of the wilderness. I want to just make this really plain tonight. They are ran out of the wilderness. And as they are ran out of the wilderness, they are running. The Egyptians are behind them and they come to the Red Sea. The Red Sea is in front of them. The Egyptians are behind them and they are in the middle. All right. And there are two types of middle situations that you're going to run into in your life that will bless you, even if on the onset, it seems like these middle situations are not blessing you. All right. I want to walk this back again slow. I want to make sure you get this. They're running out of the wilderness. They're running out of trouble, trying to get away from trouble. They run into a wall called the Red Sea that's in front of them. And they have Egyptians that are behind them and they are stuck in the middle. There are two types of middle situations that you will endure in your life that are really designed to bless you. The first middle situation is the situation you didn't ask for. There are two types of middle situations you will run into in your life that are going to bless you. The first middle situation is the situation you didn't ask for. You didn't ask for it. Let me walk back again. I'm a good storyteller. The children of Israel are run out of the wilderness. I know we just started and I'm jumping out the gates. They run out the wilderness. They're being chased by Egyptians behind them. They run to a Red Sea and they can't go forward. They can't go forward because the sea's in front of them and the Egyptians are behind them. They run out of one bad situation and run right into another one. There are two types of situations, middle situations, that you will run into that are designed to bless you. The first one is the situation you didn't ask for. Can I help you? Some of you are complaining and asking God to get you out of wilderness situations. So what he does is he pulls you out of the wilderness, but then somehow, some way, you end up in a situation that's just as bad as the one that you just came out of. And that is an example of how sometimes God will pull you out of something and put you in something you didn't ask for, even though he just got you out of something. I feel like jumping out my skin tonight. Are y'all listening to me? Yeah, I know you didn't ask for the job that you're in, and the boss, you started a new job and the boss that you're in is worse than the last one you had, and you thought the new job was the blessing, but you end up in a new job with a worse boss. And so you say, I left the old job with the bad boss thinking I was going to get a new, when I got blessed with the new job, a new boss was coming with it. But you don't even realize that sometimes God pulls you out of a situation and puts you in a situation that you didn't ask for, but he's still covering you. He's still protecting you. He still has his hands around you. So that's how it works. They run out of the wilderness, they're running out of trouble. They run into a Red Sea wall. They can't go forward. The Egyptians are behind them, and they stuck in the middle. That's the first middle, right? That's the first middle. Here's the second middle. And I'm almost done. This ain't going to take long. This is the epitome of 2-3 points and a close. Look at this. Here's the second middle. When they get to the sea and they can't go forward and the Egyptians are on their tail, they are in a situation they didn't ask for. When they thought they were coming out of a situation, out of a problem, when they thought a problem was being solved, they hopped out of one problem into a larger problem. And such is the way of life. It happens. You can literally pray and ask God to pull you out of something, and he'll pull you out of it and seemingly drop you into something that's just as bad or worse. And you looking at God like, did you really pull me out of a situation and put me in another one? How many of you have ever felt like God has pulled you out of a situation and put you right in another one? Right? That's the first middle. It is the situation you didn't ask for. Keep going. They can't go forward. Bible says God instructs Moses, hold out your rod, stretch out your rod over the sea. Moses then stretches out his rod over the sea, and the sea divides in the middle. Now, this is so good to me. The sea divides in the middle, and the children of Israel go through the parted Red Sea. So there is a wall created, dry land in the middle. The wall is the waters on each side. And the children of Israel go down the middle of the sea. They get through the sea to the other side. The Bible says that the sea then closes on the Egyptians that are trailing them in the sea. So the first middle was when the children of Israel were stuck between a wall of sea and the Egyptians. The second middle was what God parted so that they could get through and officially leave the trouble that they were in. Listen, y'all, if the first middle situation you run into was the situation that you did not ask for, the second middle that you go through is going to be the situation that brings you out. Let me call Chris real quick. Let me just get my phone. I'm gonna say this again. God brings you to two middles in your life. And they gray areas. Why? Because remember, gray is the middle between black and white. It is that soft, sweet spot in the middle. God brings you to two middle types of situations in your life. The first situation is the one you didn't ask for, that's still bringing you out of where you were. The second one is the one that's going to solve the problem. Can I help y'all? Some of y'all came out of a situation, went into another one, and now you whining saying, God, when you going to bring me out? But God is saying tonight, I'm getting ready to put you in another middle. Well, let me call Chris Morton right now and see when we can, Elder Missy, get this good taping going. I feel like hollering right here. Did you hear what I said? God pulls you out of one middle situation. And the first one is the one you didn't ask for, but the second one is going to be the one that's going to save your life. The first situation you didn't ask for, the second middle is going to save your life. And some of you don't realize right now that what you are stuck in your life was not designed to kill you, but the gray area that you're stuck in right now was designed to save your life. I want you to put this in the comments right now. It was designed to save my life. Come on. It was designed to save my life. I'm in a middle situation. I'm in a crunch right now. I'm stuck between a C and a hard place. I'm in a crunch right now, but the middle that I'm in was designed not to kill me, not to drown me, not to swallow me. It was designed to save my life. Let me help y'all here. Let me help y'all and just put this in a way that maybe you can understand. I was having a conversation with a young lady a few weeks ago who just found out she's pregnant. This is going to bless some of you honest people that just found out she was pregnant. And we were having a very candid conversation about life and the things that she has experienced in her life up to this point. And she said something that was candid to me. She said, you know, Dr. Talley, I'll be honest with you. I had a whole lot of close calls. Now, this ain't gonna make sense to none of you super saints who don't even think about sex, who ain't been, you know, ain't had the urge to give none up or get some in ages. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those of you that can be honest and say that you understand full and well what the struggle is like sometimes. All right. She said, Dr. Talley, I'm be honest with you. There were many times I escaped very close calls. But she said something profound. She said, this time I found out I was pregnant, and I really believe God did it, not to kill me, but to save my life. Can I help y'all? Could it be that the thing you're going through that is uncomfortable is the very thing God's using to save your life? Am I preaching to anybody besides me? Could it be that the very thing that you are dealing with right now, the very thing that you are struggling with, the very thing that was unexpected that came into your life, that you didn't plan for, that you didn't hope for, that you did not see coming, is the very thing that God is using to save your life? Some of you are calling bad things, when really some of these bad things are things that were designed to save your life. She said, I'm just going to be honest. I believe it was used to save my life. If I did not have a child on the way, I'd still be out here wilding out. I'd still be out here doing whatever. And I really believe God used this baby to get my attention and to save my life. Is it comfortable for her? No. Is it a position that she would have chosen? No. Listen, y'all. You would not have chosen to run through the middle of a sea and expect the walls of the water to hold up until you run through. You wouldn't have trusted that. That had to have been uncomfortable. But God sometimes uses the discomfort of the middle. He puts you in the middle in uncomfortable situations so that he can literally save your life. All I'm trying to say to y'all tonight is this one simple thing, and it's this: that it could be that what you are dealing with in your life right now, that you hate, that you despise, that you would not have chosen for yourself, that you do not understand, that is getting on your nerves, that's causing you gray hairs, that's causing you to have sleepless nights, that's causing you to be borderline manic depressive, whatever you did. Could it be that God is really using uncomfortable situations in your life not to destroy you, but to save your life? Sometimes, this is another whole word, sometimes God has to save us from us. Am I teaching to anybody? Sometimes God has to save us from us, meaning he oftentimes has to put you in a very uncomfortable spot that you don't like, that you don't understand, that you would not have chosen. But he uses this uncomfortable place called the middle. He uses this uncomfortable place called the gray area, the gray spot, which is a place of contrast, good days, bad days, cut down the middle. It's an place. Like it ain't really good, but it ain't bad either. Sometimes God puts you in that place that seems uncomfortable so he can save your life. And I do not want you, people of God, hear me in love. I do not want you to mistake the middle place as the place where you're going to die. You're not going to die in the middle. You're not going to be destroyed in the middle. In fact, the opposite's true. God's literally going to use the middle, the uncomfortable spot that you're in, to save your life. Because let's face it, the children of Israel would have still been on their hard-headed tip, doing the stuff they were doing in the wilderness, back and forth obedience, if God would not have put their life in danger to teach them a lesson that sometimes he has to save all of us from us. Yeah, he has to slow you down so you won't keep out here knocking folks down. He has to put you on a job that you're not really comfortable in to keep you praying. Yeah, he does it to save us from us. And the good news is you can't die in the middle. You're not going to die in the middle. In fact, and I think we may have talked about this. I'm scrolling through my notes here, week 1. I cannot remember. If we didn't, this is a good place to mention it. The eye of the storm, the calmest place of a storm, in a storm, hurricane, the calmest place in a storm is the eye. It's in the middle. You ain't going to die in the middle. Talk to anybody about storms and tornadoes. They'll tell you, you can, if you are chasing a tornado, and I always think these meteorologists are hilarious in their car. They got the wind blowing, they holding the camera and they're blowing. Oh, we're following the storm. You're on the outside, you're going to just get blown away. You talk to anybody that's been in a tornado. Where I'm from, Martinsville, there's a place between Martinsville and Greensboro called Stoneville. Or is it it's Stoneville, I believe it is. Stoneville is good, notorious for tornadoes. Notorious. You talk to anybody, and it's something about just the terrains of that area, the land in that area. You talk to anybody who has gone through a tornado, and they'll tell you that when the tornado passes over you, it's a lot of commotion when you're on the outside. This is a word. There is a lot of commotion when you're on the outside of the storm. But when the storm passes over you and you are in the eye or the middle of the storm, talk to anybody who's been in a tornado and they'll tell you it is an eerie silence. You can look out and you can see the winds and houses blowing and trees flying. You can see all of this, but that 5, 6, 7 seconds where the eye of the storm passes over you, everything comes to a standstill. Y'all want the word? Here's the word. God's putting you in the middle of some stuff. Because up until that point, everything in your life was chaos. Everything in your life was commotion. Everything in your life was seemingly blowing away. So God is saying, I'm putting you in the middle of some storms just to help you understand that the middle ain't designed to kill you. The middle is designed to give you a break. I feel somebody call Chris Martin. I feel like running through here. The middle of your storm is designed to give you a break. And you thought that the middle of the storm was designed to destroy you. God said, I'm taking you through the storm, but I'm putting you in the middle just to give you some rest. And the same way, good God from Zion, a tornado passes over people and gives them a period of silence. It's the same way God's going to use the situation you've been dropped in to give you a season of rest so that when you come out of this storm, things around you may look destroyed. Things around you may have been completely demolished. But you're going to come out of the storm with more peace and more calm than you've ever had in your life. But you cannot get nervous in the middle. Come on, y'all. I just told you not to die in the middle. Here's the next point I want you to record. Record this. Don't get nervous in the middle. Don't get nervous in the middle. Children of Israel are going through the Red Sea. They had to have been thinking, how in the world did Moses part a whole sea? That had to be kind of creepy. But I would imagine that when your life is on the line, that ain't the time to get nervous. You got people behind you trying to kill you. That ain't the time to get nervous. And so what did they do? They ran through the sea and trusted that if they can just make it through the middle, they will not die in the middle. Don't get nervous in the middle. Don't get nervous. You ain't gonna die in the middle. It's the first one I gave you. And this point is, so don't get nervous in the middle. I know you're uncomfortable working the job you're working because it doesn't match the degrees you have. It doesn't match the experience you have. And you thought that this was the end game for you. It's not. Can't get nervous in the middle. God literally has you in the middle of the storm, exactly where he wants you to be. And you have to learn how to trust him and understand that when it comes to storms in your life, the safest place you can be is right in the middle of it. Now, I know many of you are praying every morning. You put on your prayer request. I see them typed in, emailed in. Pastor, pray for this storm to pass over my life. I want this storm. I want to get out of this storm that I'm in. That's typically the phrase. I want to get out of this storm that I'm in. And I'm here to lift up to you tonight and suggest to you that maybe, just maybe, you need to stay in it. Tell you what, the Lord spoke to me a couple of days ago. He said, Zeb, I know you want to come out of some stuff, but there are some things I need you to stay in. I know. What do you do when you ask God to bring you out of a storm and he says, nah, I want you to stay in there? Let me tell you what you do. If you ever ask God to bring you out of a storm and he says, no, I need you to stay in this storm for a little while, then the best thing you can do is find shelter and wait on the middle. Man, somebody put me in F sharp right now. Did you hear what I said? If you're in a storm and you ask God to bring you out of the storm and he keeps you in the storm, best thing you can do is seek shelter and wait on the middle. Yeah. Listen, when you have been, I keep going to this tornado analogy because it makes a lot of sense. Most weather experts will tell you, if a tornado is coming and you can hear it and you can see it, it's probably too late to get away from it. So at that point, ain't no need of trying to go book a flight. Like you ain't got that much time. You can get in your car and try to drive away. I don't know how much further away you're going to be able to go through that storm. You can try as much as you can, but if you can see the storm, meteorologists, weather people will tell you, you can see the storm. You can see it. Chances are you can't avoid it. So what's the best thing you can do? Run for cover, get some shelter, and wait on the middle. Because when the middle comes, it's going to be peace and silent and quiet, and that storm's going to pass over you, and then you know it's over. And some of you, the only sign you know, the only sign you have that your storm is almost over is that you are in the middle of it, but you are walking around in peace. Listen, some of you, the only sign you have that your storm is almost done is that you are walking around in the middle of something that that will drive most people crazy. You're walking around in the middle of it, but there's a peace and a calm about you. And the only sign that you have that the storm is almost over is that you're not panicking no more, that you're not worrying no more, that you're not agitated and fretted no more. You got peace right in the middle of the doctor's diagnosis. You had peace right in the middle of relationship turbulence, marriage turbulence, friendship turbulence. You got peace right in the middle of family drama. And the only way you can have peace in the midst of a storm is if you are in the middle of it. And the good news is, if you are in a storm and you feel calm, guess what? That's a sign that storm's about to leave you. Sometimes you don't need to pay attention to what you see. I'm getting ready to help somebody here. When it comes to storms you go through, let me help you. Sometimes you don't need to pay attention to what you see. You need to pay attention to how you feel. Because how you feel will be the indicator of how much longer you got to deal with it. You in the storm, you boo-hooing, crying, balling out, falling out, can't sleep, roll around the floor, slobbing, can't get yourself. Then you probably on the outskirts of the storm and it's just about to hit you real good. And go ahead and brace yourself because you're going to be there for a while. Now, if you're doing all of that in the storm, you're going to be there for a while. Y'all like, share this video quickly because I'm almost done. You're going to be there for a while. But if you're in a storm, and you go from crying and wailing and falling out to all of a sudden there is a peace on you that passes even what you understand. And the moments you should be crying, you find yourself just taking deep breaths, regaining your composure and being okay. Let me tell you something. If you can function like that in a storm, it is an indicator that the storm is leaving you. And I don't know who I've talked to tonight for this 30 minutes, but let me say this to you. If you feel comfortable right now in a very uncomfortable situation, God's getting ready to let the storm you're in pass over you. And again, the indicator is all in how you feel. I can look at how you feel and tell you how much longer you got in the storm. Are y'all listening to me? I can look at how you feel. I can look at how you're handling it emotionally, mentally. I can look at how you're handling it and I can tell you how much longer you got in the storm. And if you're handling it and you're all frantic and you can't get yourself together, you're going to be there a while. You need to go and brace yourself. You're going to be there a while. But if you've been in this storm and the winds are blowing around you, houses are crumbling around you, trees of proverbial trees are blowing right in front of your face, but you're calm. Guess what? You've reached a place called the middle. And there's joy when you're in the middle. Come on, I need B flat right now. There's peace when you're in the middle. There is no confusion when you're in the middle. There's protection when you're in the middle. And because you know these things are all present, you don't have to get razzle-dazzle. You don't have to do none of that stuff. You can be real calm, cool, and collected. Why? Because you understand that while you have had some difficult, trying times with this particular storm, the fact that you found peace in the middle of it is an indicator that it's about to pass you by. I'm here to tell and speak to everybody that's watching this live, everybody that's watching this recorded. The good news is the storm you're in is getting ready to pass you by. And the way you're going to know that it's getting ready to pass you by is not based on what it looks like. Because listen, I told you earlier, go back to the example. You be in the middle of a tornado. That don't mean you can't look out there and see other people going through. See, we have to be careful not to be in the middle of a storm and look at external circumstances. Because some of you are letting how you feel in the storm be predicated on external circumstances. You see trees flying, so you're nervous. You see houses falling apart, so you're nervous. You see all of this destruction around you, and it's making you nervous. And you don't even realize that what's going on out there ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in here. When you got peace for real, when you have peace in the middle of a storm for real, there can be complete chaos around you. But your energy, your spirit, everything about you is going to be calm and settled because you understand that peace ain't predicated on what it looks like. Peace is predicated on where you are. Did y'all hear what I said? Your peace is not determined by what it looks like. Your peace is determined by where you are. Things can be going crazy in your life. You can have death around you, death in your family. Your relationships could be crumbling. Your career could be falling apart. Your finances could be falling apart. You could be getting ill and your health falling. All of these things could be going on around you that are external things. But when you know you're in the middle of the storm and God got you, you're in that gray area called the middle, you find a sense of peace that's bigger than what you see. So it don't matter what results the doctor gives you. You already know you're healed. Doesn't matter how the devil fights your relationships. You know they're already healed. Doesn't matter how hard he fights in your money. You already know your bills are paid. Doesn't matter how he fights your family. You already know everything's going to be united. Doesn't matter how he fights, what he fights in your life. You find yourself with the kind of peace that surpasses even your own understanding. And that, my friends, is not found when you're first in the storm. That, my friends, is not found when you're on the outside of the storm. That's found when you stuck smack dab in the middle of the storm. This makes sense to anybody? Listen, y'all, the gray area ain't the place where you're going to die. You ain't dying in the middle. The gray area ain't the place where you need to get nervous. Ain't no need to get nervous in the middle. The gray area of your life, these uncertain places in the middle of these storms, are really the places where if you really dig deep, you can find the greatest level of peace. Listen, y'all, I'm going to say it another final way and then I'm done. Look, y'all, it's one thing to have peace when your bill's paid. You know, it's one thing to have peace when you know your direct deposit about to hit. Like everybody in a good mood when direct deposit about to hit. When your direct deposit about to hit, it's one thing to have peace because you know the direct deposit about to hit and you're about to be able to cover your bills and everything's going to be good and you know you got some extra money, left over after you paid your bill. It's one thing to have peace if that's the case. It's another thing to have peace and you ain't got no income coming in. The direct deposit is 2 weeks late. Somebody said my direct hitting tomorrow. Look, y'all looking for it too. When your direct deposit is 2 weeks late and your bills are due tomorrow. It's another thing to have peace when things are not, from an exterior standpoint, lined up the way you thought they would be lined up. And so all I'm trying to say to all of you tonight is stop looking for peace from external sources, from what you see and what's around you and how things appear to be going, and dig inside your spirit, dig inside your energy, and find the peace inside of you necessary to find a calm when things are chaos around. And if you can find that inner peace, I'm telling you, your crying days are going to be limited. They're going to start to dry up. Your hard days are going to start to be far and few between. Why? Because you have found a peace that is greater than what you are in the middle of. This bless anybody tonight? Did it? Come on, don't fool me. This was a powerful 35 minutes. This bless anybody tonight? If it did, I want you to fill it up with hearts. I hope you took some notes tonight. I'm ready to pray for you. But let me tell you, this has been a very powerful series. And if it blessed you, I want you to fill it up with hearts tonight, quickly, because I'm getting ready to pray for you. Let me tell you something. Again, I can't stress it enough. Y'all stop getting nervous because you're in the middle of storms. You're in the best place you can be. The safest place you can be in a storm is right smack in the middle of it. Stay in there. Stay in there. Stop asking God to pull you out and put you on the outskirts where all the houses are flying around and all the trees are being cut in half. You don't want that. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle of the storm and just hold on. Make sure you're undercover. Let the storm pass over you. And I promise you, when you come out of this storm, you're going to come out better than you've ever been before in your life. This bless anybody? Listen, y'all, I want to pray for you quickly. I'm making great time and I'm super duper proud of myself because I, for a second, almost got carried away tonight. I want to pray for you. You got a prayer request? I want you to type it in the comments right now. If you've got a prayer request, I want you to type your prayer request in the comments right now. If you've got a prayer request we cannot see, that you don't want anybody to see, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org, and just simply put in the subject line prayer request. Those requests will get routed to my personal email. We'd be happy to read those requests, respond to you, and certainly pray for you all week long. But I want you to type in your prayer request really quickly tonight. I want to pray for you. We're going to sow seed and we're going to be done tonight. But what a powerful message on riding in the middle. My prayer tonight, as you're typing your prayer request, as you're formulating your prayer request, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, my prayer tonight for you is that you won't panic in the middle of what you're in. Don't panic. Don't. People commit suicide when they get in the middle of storms and panic. People become depressed when they're in the middle of storms and they start to panic. People make rash decisions. I feel like I'm ministering to somebody tonight. People make rash decisions when they're in the middle of a storm and they panic. The worst thing you can do in the middle of a storm is panic. The best thing you can do is just take cover and be still. Take cover, be still. That storm is not going to just stay over your head. It's over your head today or right now. A few seconds later, it's going to be over your neighbor's head. A few minutes later, it's going to be over their neighbor's head. Storms don't just linger over you. They're going to pass over you. The storm is going to pass over you. You got to be still. You got to exercise some patience and let it go by. Come on, y'all. 15 seconds quickly. I don't see a lot of prayer requests tonight. Very quickly. Good. I'm absolutely praying for you, Sister Michelle. So good to see you tonight. Definitely praying for your mother and family on the passing of your father. We've been praying for you and just really wishing you all well, not just tonight, but in the months to come. Really appreciate you, Sister Michelle. She's always been such a big blessing to our ministry. Listen, y'all, 15 seconds. Put in your prayer request really quickly. Go ahead and start to clasp your hands like this. If you've already typed in your request, clasp your hands like this as a sign, a symbol of faith. We're getting ready to pray with you right now. I want to touch and agree with you that God answers your prayers. And he makes a way for you out of no way as a result of the needs that you have for him. Come on, connect your hands like this as a sign, a symbol of faith. Let's touch and agree and pray. You ready? Let's do it. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you tonight for your word. And I thank you tonight for this time of gathering you've given us. I pray that tonight, God, this word has touched somebody, encouraged somebody, strengthened somebody to reconsider the middle of the storm that they're in. Help them to understand that it was not designed to kill them or destroy them. But the storm that they are in was simply designed to make them better, to bring them peace right in the middle of confusion, peace right in the middle of difficult circumstances, peace right in the middle of obstacles and trials that they do not understand. That God, you have given us a charge to go through, to stand still, and to trust you as the storm passes over. Help us tonight, God, above everything else, to trust you in the middle of what we're dealing with, to trust you in the middle of what we're going through, to trust you in the middle of what we're facing, because we recognize that only you can bring peace. Only you can bring calm and stillness in the middle of everything that we go through. Now, God, for every prayer request that's come across this line, we speak to those requests right now. We ask that you would answer those prayers, that you would make ways, open doors, and meet needs. Somebody's watching live. Somebody's watching the replay and has a special prayer for their family. There's a special prayer for healing and comfort and peace and better health and well-being, relationships, marriages, working conditions, businesses, family dynamics, whatever the case may be. God, we lift every single prayer request up to you. And we ask, God, that you would answer those prayers, and not only answer the prayers, but that, God, you would indeed do exceeding and abundantly above all that we can ask or think as we lift our prayers up to you, believing that not only will you answer them, but you'll do it better than we ever could have imagined. I thank you, God, because this is a week where many of your people are going to find peace right in the middle of what they're going through. And so we speak peace into their lives. We speak peace into their finances. We speak peace into every area of their lives that may feel shaken, that may feel like they're in the middle of a storm. And God, we pray that you would give us the strength to persevere and to hold on until the storm passes over. We thank you for these things and count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Would you type in the comments right now? It is so. Come on, if you pray with me, type in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. What a powerful teaching tonight. I'm telling y'all, people that miss life study miss a treat, man. It don't even take long. But what a powerful treat you missed tonight. I am so grateful. Come on, type in the comments. It is so. If you prayed with me, I want you to type it is so. Every time you say amen, you are simply saying it is so. Type in the comments. It is so. It is so. It is so. God's answering your prayers. God's making a way for you. God's opening doors. He's meeting needs in your life. And you have to absolutely trust him to make that thing happen. All right. Listen, it's giving time. Really quickly, I want to challenge all of you to give. If this message, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, if this message tonight, part 3 of this series, the gray area, has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give. There are 1 of 3 ways you can be a blessing to us tonight. Whether you want to tithe, give a special seed, give an offering, whatever it is that you want to do, I'm going to challenge you tonight to give and sow into the message that you heard tonight. You can give 1 of 3 ways. You can give via CashAPP, $, REHABCCGIVE. That's $, REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org, and simply choose online giving. That's www.rehabcc.org and choose online giving. Or you can give through our through your cell phone. I'm getting all tongue-tied tonight. You can give through your cell phone tonight by texting REHABWORKS Text REHABWORKS to 88202. REHABWORKS, that's 2 words as 1 word. REHABWORKS, no spaces. REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you'll see a prompt. You follow the prompt, and you can give right from your cell phone, right where you are. Again, Cash App, $ REHABCCGIVE. Website, www.rehabcc.org. Choose online giving, or through your cell phone by simply texting REHABWORKS to 88202. And you'll get a prompt to your phone, and you can follow the prompt, and you can give right from your phone, right from the comfort of wherever you are. I want to thank all of you that participated in our virtual experience for the last year. And I am just so grateful for your support and how you've continued to support us. And I want to challenge you to continue to do so as we remain in this format for much longer. We will always have a virtual format for as long as Rehab exists, because this format has been such a blessing to so many people so far and near. And so I promise you, even though we'll be getting back in the building at some point, we will certainly not let go of this format, because we do realize that this teaching has been a blessing to so many people. And so many of you we would have never connected with had it not been for COVID, had it not been for the environment that we're in. And we're forever grateful to you for your support, for your viewership, and everything that you do for our ministry. So I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Listen, if you have not already, like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channels. You can find us on Instagram at The Rehab Experience, Facebook, The Rehab Christian Center, YouTube at The Rehab CC. You can find us online, www.rehabcc.org. But I want you to like all of our channels, subscribe to all of our channels, like this video, and then make plans to meet us this Sunday, Super Sunday, 9:08 a.m. I got a very powerful word for you. I can't wait to share it with you. It's going to bless your whole life. And I cannot wait to share this word. This one's going to be powerful. And so make plans to meet us this Sunday. I think it's 4th of July Sunday for those of you that are celebrating 4th of July. Many of us celebrate Juneteenth and other things. But whatever you are celebrating, wherever you will be, make sure you make plans to tune in this Sunday, 9:08 a.m. Sharp, right here at the Rehab Christian Center. And we can't wait to see you. Listen, I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I am absolutely rooting for you and your family, your friends, and everybody connected to you. And I want you to have an amazing week. And I will look forward to seeing you right here in this virtual format this Sunday, 9:08 a.m. sharp. All right. Love you guys. I'm praying for you. Have a fantastic week and weekend. Peace and blessings.
For watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by Cash App at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encourage, enlighten, and empower you to be better. Please tune in Sunday at 9:08 a.m. for our Sunday morning experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.